Hello there, Dave here again. We are closing up the word of the Torah, the first 5 books of Moses, with Deuteronomy chapter 29, renewing the covenant. God, again, saying, I've done all of these things for Israel, and I'm going to continue doing all of these things for Israel. And he renews this covenant with the people and reminds them against breaking that covenant. He has never broken his covenant with Israel, and he will not break his covenant with Israel, his promises with Israel. And he continues to this day. As we see, it is still there. It was reborn in 1948, but it has been a nation a lot longer than people realize sometimes. Chapter 30, the 30th chapter of Deuteronomy, the choice. Restoration of a repentant Israel, God's promise to restore them to the promised land. God promising them if he takes them out of the land for punishment, he will return them to the land as he has done on several times after Babylon and after the dispersion of the Roman, coming in and tearing everything apart. So that was part of that history as well. You should always be studying the history of Israel. It's very fascinating, and their calendar, of course, as well. Chapter 31, and again, this whole thing with the current wars going on happened right after important stuff on their Jewish calendar. Again, seems to always happen that way. Deuteronomy 31, some final instructions from Moses, charges to the children of Israel, charges to Joshua. He puts Joshua in there as command, and Joshua is more of a soldier, more of an army leader than Moses is really more of the priestly kind of leader. But definitely Joshua is going to be able to do that. So now he instructs Joshua on what he should do. Chapter 32, the Song of Moses. The child forsaken its father. Moses recounting God's faithfulness to Israel again. Israel responding to God's kindness. And that wasn't necessarily a good way they responded. And, that's something, it's kind of a cycle. And you'll get that into Judges when you start seeing the cycle of apostasy where, the people repent. Then the people fall. The people do great sin. God sends in a judge later to get them out. And then the cycle continues. And it's sort of the way life is sometimes. Moses blessing the tribes in chapter 33 says, Reuben, nor let his men be few. Judah, may you be a help. Levi, you shall teach. Israel is your law, or you are the law to Israel. Benjamin, the beloved of the Lord. Joseph, the blessing may come. Zebulun and Issachar, to partake in the abundance of the seas. So not sure what they did as far as the ocean dwelling, and possibly to the seas, the Mediterranean, and so forth. Gad, dwelling as a lion. Dan, a lion's whelp. Naphtali, full of the blessings of the Lord. Asher, the blessed son, most blessed of sons. And happy are you, O Israel, for God is your God. Chapter 34, the death of Moses on Mount Nebo. His death is recorded, and he is buried so that no one could ever really find out exactly where he was buried. God himself buried Moses. It's interesting. That comes up later in the book of Jude. But Moses' body is being argued over. So there's some fascinating questions about the end times and Moses' return, possibly during that end era. At any rate, that is the book of Deuteronomy, and the first 5 books of Moses have been covered. We'll get into Joshua next. Thank you for sticking around. Give me a comment, a like, a shout out. Hope you're doing well. God bless, and keep studying the word, my friend.